How many times does Drew Jenkins feel it's necessary to talk about this stupid Jetta? He made a short video and he's talking about, man, was it hard these 3 weeks without the car, when the car was down, right? And he's completely baked or something in this video because he's completely losing his train of thought. And he looks worse than we've seen him look. He looks bad. Now he looks like he is aging real fast now all of a sudden. I mean, his appearance is completely unkempt. I mean, his beard looks like he can't even be bothered to trim that up to make it even. His face, I mean, I don't like talking about people's appearance, but it looks like he hasn't washed his face in weeks. His teeth, I don't like to talk about teeth because you can see I got a fucked up one. But it looks like those teeth have not been brushed in months. He's completely unkempt. It's horrible. Anyways, he's talking about the car. These 3 weeks without the car, it was just so horrible. And he always refers to the car as she. He has such a connection with this car that he addresses it as she. I wouldn't be surprised if he had some name like, who even knows? Like some sexy name for this car or something. Like Sonia, or you know what I mean? Something. Or Natasha. Or that's just how weird, the weird vibes it gives you with listening to Drew talk about this car. Anyways, they were without the car for 3 weeks because the throttle body, I know nothing about cars. They had to get that replaced because it kept throwing the car into some sort of mode. And so he couldn't do his gig work. So he figured it out. And I wouldn't doubt it because we see Stephanie wasn't doing any extra posting during this time or anything to try to make up any difference, right? So he says he worked every day at Safeway, and thank God his boss had allowed it. They barely got by. They barely saved the storage. And then he speaks on, but they made it. They had food and they had enough gas. I'm thinking, you need gas when the car's gone for 3 weeks? That didn't make sense, but whatever. So he's sorry he hasn't been keeping us updated, and that was the extent of it. He talked about the stupid car again, being without it for 3 weeks, and he couldn't do his gig work. And of course, Stephanie did nothing. But here's the thing. I understand he couldn't do the gig work. So logic would say Stephanie should have been picking up some of the slack and posting like crazy. I would think she should more content, more money, right? More views, more money, more comments, more interaction, right? But we didn't see any of that from her. And we know damn well she's not going to go out and get a job. So, it just goes to show if something happens, like say the car, this just happened and it hurt them that bad income-wise, okay? Stephanie, she has no plans for if this happens again. What if Drew gets sick and can't work either job? According to how dire he made it seem, there's no way that they would make it. But I guess she doesn't see a seriousness to this. I don't know. And the people in the comments, of course, are asking, why can't she go out and work? Why can't she work an opposite shift of yours? She can get childcare for free. And we've all been asking these questions over and over and over and over again since she first came online 2 years ago now. But she refuses. She thinks that she is really helping this family with her social media. So that's what Drew is up to. Then we have her posting on over on FB, and she shows a picture of an after-school snack for the kids. She says, "Are your kids done for the summer?" No, she says, after-school snack. "Are your kids done for school for the summer? My kids still have a little more than a week left. I can't wait to have them home more. I truly hope we are able to fill our summer with memories this year, even if it means we are walking for a lot of it. Side note, yes, I take the pits out of the cherries for the toddlers. The older kids know how to spit them out." Because she shows a picture of the snack. We got some cherries, we've got some bologna sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly. She's got the crust cut off of all of them, and some barbecue chips that are the current family fave. And she expects us to believe that she takes the pits out of the cherries for the toddlers, but she can't be bothered to cut the grapes in half when she feeds them to the toddlers. And we all know, if you're a parent, even if you're not a parent, just nieces, nephews, we all know you don't give children that age full grapes. It's a choking hazard. But she takes the pits out of the cherries but doesn't cut the grapes. I don't know. So she can't wait till her kids are home. I'm sure that her kids cannot wait to spend every day cooped up in that nasty, stinking shelter room for the entire summer. And she says hopefully they can make memories this year, even if they have to walk. That's another thing. What is her aversion to public transportation? She could get on the bus or the train or whatever, and there's all kinds of free things she could do with these kids through the summer. She could make them a good summer. But I don't believe it. I think it's going to be a repeat of last summer. They might get a few days with a sprinkler or that little splash pad she bought this year, and that'll be the extent of their summer. And collecting some rocks, digging through pea gravel looking for rocks. I mean, and why would she have to walk? Like I said, why can't she take the public transportation? There's museums, there's all kinds of parks, there's different splash pads. I mean, they live in a big city, so, there's these, I'm sure they have an aquarium there. Portland, I don't know how close that is to the water. Like maybe they have a pier there or something. I don't know. But the point is, there's all kinds of things she could do to make this summer. They could go on picnics in the park. Anything. Even just taking walks, like she says. But is it going to happen? I highly doubt it. And anything that she does, it's going to be with the intent of making it into content. It's not going to be to better these kids' summer. No. She can't be bothered, She would rather spend her time letting everybody trash the shelter room and spending her time going in circles acting like she's cleaning it, instead of doing things with these kids. But yeah, Drew, he's off in La La Land somewhere, talking about Natasha the car. That's what I'm going to start calling the Jetta, Natasha. But because it seems like he's having a love affair with this car. He seems more in love with this car than he's ever been with Stephanie. But yeah, that's. Oh, and then Stephanie, she made I don't even know, something about an immunity shot. It looked like, I don't have the picture pulled up here. It was garlic and onions and some honey and some other things that she's talking about. She managed to get it down, and which just goes to show this is more of her natural remedies, right? But the other day she was talking about how it's completely fine to have the junk food. See what I mean? She constantly contradicts herself. She's into all these natural health remedies, giving these kids all these, what did she call them? Tonics or something before, and then it was junk food, and now we're back to the health stuff again. I don't get it. I don't think she knows what's going on. She's all over the place. But yeah, that's what's going on with Pookie and Drew. So we'll see what they get into tomorrow.